From overcoming obstacles and adversity to achieving remarkable goals.
We've had a lot of ups and downs in this business.
Black leaders, businesses, and community members are reaching new heights and accomplishments.
It's always been a goal to make an impact. If I touch something, that I do it in excellence.
It means more knowing where I come from.
Tonight, we celebrate their successes.
I'm the first black chief to be in the city of Stockton.
I sleep at night because I know when I come to work, I'm doing the best that I can.
Achievements.
Black people, especially in California, their hands have touched every industry.
And barriers they are continuing to break.
The legacy of the whole thing hit me as to what I was preserving and what I was passing on to other generations.
We still have work to do as well.
The impact their contributions have had on the larger community and how they're hoping to inspire others.
I just hope to inspire somebody.
We celebrate Black history in this KCRA 3 Project Community Special.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Ty Steele.
And I'm Brandy Cummings. Black history is celebrated throughout the month of February. The idea began in 1915 from historian Carter G. Woodson. It later became known as Negro History Week. In the 1970s, an entire month was dedicated to the achievements of African American people. This year's Black History Month theme is Black Renaissance.
And this was selected to explore how African Americans have resisted historic and ongoing oppression in all forms since the nation's earliest days. And one of the biggest examples of that is the Tuskegee Airmen. They were the first squadron of black military aviators who fought during World War II.
KCRA 3's Lizzie Mitri shows us how a Colfax woman is keeping her father's legacy as the first Tuskegee Airman alive.
Anybody heard of the Red Tails? Oh, look at there.
Today's lesson didn't come from a textbook.
We're talking about World War II.
Instead, Linnell Brent hoped to bring history to life. For students at Sierra Elementary School in Rockland, sharing a piece of the past that's personal.
The legacy of the whole thing hit me as to what I was preserving and what I was passing on to other generations. And it's a wonderful feeling.
She's talking about the legacy of her father, a member of the Tuskegee Airmen, the country's first squadrons of black military aviators.
He was the very first one. His name is George Spanky Roberts.
Part of what's been called the Tuskegee experiment that many expected to fail.
But they were good because of two things. They had the education that they needed to have when the call came for them to be able to join, and they had the perseverance.
Colonel Roberts flew more than 100 combat missions.
Dad was the actual first commander of the 99th Fighter Squadron and the actual first commander of the 332nd. He was also the first black commander of an integrated unit after the war.
He eventually retired from the McClellan Air Force Base in 1968.
But after he retired, they decided to stay. And so this is how our connection to Sacramento is, and we've been here ever since.
When Roberts died, the organization now known as the Tuskegee Airmen Heritage Chapter was born.
Our mom actually started this. It was called the Living History Team.
Sharing stories of the past with generations of the future. In Rockland, Lizzie Mitri, KCRA 3 News.
Across Northern California, African Americans are making a difference in law enforcement. Bobby Davis is the first black police chief in the city of Elk Grove. Stanley McFadden is Stockton's first black police chief. And Sabrina Briggs is Sacramento's first black female police lieutenant. I spoke to Lieutenant Briggs about her journey to shatter the glass ceiling.
Big, please, just tell me if I have a warrant.
You've probably seen her before, but you may not know her story.
I thought I was going to be the first female in the NBA. That was my goal. But clearly that didn't work out.
From hoop dreams to helping others. As a Sacramento Police Department patrol officer, on the entertainment team, and as a public information officer, Sabrina Briggs' journey hasn't been straight and narrow.
There's things that happen throughout my career that I go, okay, that just wasn't my path.
A Sacramento native, Briggs is the middle child of 3. As a youngster, she was a decorated athlete in track and field and basketball. The life lessons from the game making a difference on and off the court. She went to college on a basketball scholarship, but during a police ride-along, found a new path.
Every single interaction that I had on that ride-along that officer was having, there was an opportunity there to have a positive interaction on someone who's in trouble.
It's good to see all these beautiful faces.
And it was that passion for people that turned her blood blue Briggs went right into the academy after getting her bachelor's degree. She was top in her first academy class, but failed a final scenario and got kicked out 2 weeks before graduation.
How did you feel when that happened?
Looking back, that's what I needed. I didn't need to go out there with the kind of cocky attitude that I had.
Devastated but not defeated, she went back, took another 6 months, graduated, and started working for SAC PD during the recession.
Over the course of the first 5 years of my career, I continued to be laid off but hired back on by a grant.
After 7 years with the department, she tried another move to be a female SWAT officer. She recalls the final exercise that still gets her choked up.
I was so confident at that 5 yards, and then when I stepped up and I missed those shots, and I was just like, oh God. And even just right now, I'm just thinking about it because I was just devastated because, sorry, that was like my goal, like, you know. But, so I gave myself a couple, by the way, I didn't pass the test because I got 10 rounds out, and you weren't supposed to have 10 rounds out. So I remember giving myself a couple days to just like take it all in because I was devastated.
That's when a superior officer encouraged her to take on a leadership role. Then in 2018, she earned new stripes as a sergeant and became the first African-American woman in the history of SAC PD to hold that position. It's a role she took on during the height of nationwide protests against law enforcement. The fractured trust between minorities and police that still exists isn't lost on her.
This is something that I've been dealing with my whole career. And I go home and I sleep at night because I know when I come to work, I'm doing the best that I can.
Her best came in 2022. Briggs got her bar, becoming the first African-American female lieutenant with the department. While she's received a number of individual honors as an officer, her focus is serving others.
How do you feel about the fact that you are the first specifically African-American in this position? I mean, when you think about that, the weight of that, what first comes to mind?
I'm honored. And hopefully people could see me and say, hey, I want to be like her one day.
KCRA 3 also spoke to Chief Stanley McFadden about the responsibility he feels as the first black police chief in Stockton.
If we look at the history of policing, it's been awful, you know, specifically towards people of color, you know, and even today we still have horrific events that happen. And I feel as a black chief, I have to be even more intentional in ensuring that I have a diverse workforce.
Chief McFadden was hired last year. He is the city's 50th police chief.
And coming up, diversity in delivery.
How one Sacramento business owner is making an impact in the shipping industry years after migrating from Liberia. Welcome back. For a second time, California state leaders are trying to remove certain language from the state constitution. They say leaving it there allows slavery as a form of criminal punishment.
KCRA 3's Maricela de la Cruz spoke to a lawmaker about the fight to get the words involuntary servitude removed.
I'm Assemblymember Lori Wilson.
Carrying a bill from the last legislative session, Assemblymember Lori Wilson is leading the End the Slavery in California Act, which seeks to outlaw slavery as a criminal punishment.
Our current constitution does prohibit slavery and it does prohibit involuntary servitude, but it has an exception, except for the punishment of a crime. And so we're trying to remove that exception.
This means that the Constitution would be amended to remove involuntary servitude from its language. California is among 16 states that have this exception clause.
That exception right there is what allows for folks incarcerated that are being punished for their crimes to be forced to work, to basically not have bodily autonomy over themselves. And it allows CDCR basically to exploit their labor.
Giving back dignity to those incarcerated like Barbara Chavez, who spent 20 years in prison.
You are not what your sentence is. You made a mistake. You're there to pay your debt to society. You're not there to be a slave.
And says she was forced to work even when sick.
While I was in there, yes, we had to work. If we did not work, we would be punished. We would lose visits. We would not be able to see our children. We would not be able to use the phone. We would not be able to shop canteen. So it was hard. It's hard because there's times when you're sick.
Assemblymember Wilson adds that California's system of rehabilitation should not include involuntary servitude.
People have committed crimes, right? And that's why they're there. They've gone through our system, and our system has found them guilty of a crime. And we can hold people accountable, but we can also treat people like humans.
The assembly member adds that although Black Californians make up 6% of the population, they also make up 28% of those incarcerated.
And last year, the bill stalled in the Senate. If it passes both chambers this year, it would then go on the ballot because voters have to approve any changes to the state constitution.
Around the nation, reparations, or the act of repaying African Americans for the impact of slavery, has become a big topic. In California, there's a task force dedicated to creating a reparations proposal. That task force is holding 2 meetings next month in Sacramento to hear the public's ideas and options on what reparations should look like. Those meetings are happening on March 3rd and the 4th inside the Byron Scher Auditorium at Cal EPA.
Black Californians have helped change the world in many ways. That's why the California Museum in Sacramento is highlighting Black history within its exhibits. They have created a self-guided tour featuring a look back at Black American contributions to California's rich history. There are also interactive displays that feature trailblazing individuals, movements, and organizations. The tour creator says she wanted to highlight Black Americans' impact on the state.
History is not exclusive to one grouping of people, but it's inclusive, and the broader we can provide that perspective, the more we can understand about each other, and it helps us avoid mistakes that we've made in the past. It helps us become better, just people toward other people in general, and also, if you care, I'm really passionate about it, so I want everyone to be passionate about it.
The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 5 and Sundays from noon until 5. They suggest the exhibit takes about an hour to complete.
From struggle to success, KCRA 3's Brittany Hope introduces us to a man who was born into civil war in Liberia, moved to Sacramento, and has worked in his 34 years of life to break barriers one box at a time.
One of our biggest services is mailbox services. We also offer printing.
Posters, pictures, photo books. You can print anything inside the Sacramento UPS.
It really just starts a dialogue of like who that person is, and you can connect with your customer in that way.
Those prints seal in milestone memories, not only for paying customers, but also for Sia Wilson Gay Jr.
It's like a new meaning for them to be able to say, like, yeah, my go-to UPS store is actually owned by this 34-year-old Black kid. That means the world to me.
His story, it's going to take a lot of ink.
I was born in Monrovia, Liberia.
In 1988.
The Civil War in Liberia started in '89. So it started like the year after I was born. So here I come into the world, and then boom, country goes into a civil war.
His first decade of life was shaped by war.
There was a lot of people that didn't make it through that. And for me to live my entire life through it and make it out, be reunited with my mom in a new country, I'm extremely grateful for my mom. I'm extremely grateful for my stepfather.
At 10, Sia made it to the U.S. and hit the ground running.
I'm like Sacramento grown.
Attending school in the San Juan Unified School District.
I graduated from Sac State in 2012. Then I went back to school in 2015 and graduated in 2018. Let me save this first.
He got his MBA while working as an operations manager for Amazon.
I started saving up all 2019. I'm saving up.
He's now a regional manager for Tesla. And in February 2021, he opened this UPS on Calvine Road. Oh, he also owns 4 homes.
It's so much more than a home.
Yes, it means more knowing where I come from and knowing that there were points in my life where I wasn't sure if I was going to have a roof over my head, and ensuring that none of my kids ever have to experience that.
He serves on the board of Project Optimism, a Sacramento nonprofit that works to empower underserved communities and foster youth. He donates scholarships for the students too.
Folks feel like to be very accomplished, you have to go to like Harvard or, Penn State. And it's like, no, I'm Sacramento and I'm homegrown, and now I've established something that I can say I own a little portion of the community in Sacramento.
The epitome of the American dream becoming reality, sealed in ink.
My friends will hear me say all the time, I'm just a kid from Liberia.
A kid from Liberia
Wow.
is making it
This kid
big.
Never saw this kid happening. That's for sure. I just hope to inspire somebody to go after whatever they're chasing, you know, whatever their aspirations are. There's nothing standing in your way. I look forward to what this next photo is going to be.
In Sacramento, Brittany Hope, KCRA 3 News.
Whether it be as business owners, as you saw, or in real estate, African Americans in California are breaking barriers. Now we introduce you to the first African American Chief Executive Officer of the Sacramento Association of Realtors.
Jessica Coates has dedicated much of her life to real estate.
It gives me still butterflies.
Now, as the first African American Chief Executive Officer in the history of the Sacramento Association of Realtors, she's looking forward to bringing her experience to the capital city and working with the group's 8,600 members.
It's an accomplishment, but that speaks to we still have work to do as well.
Officially starting the role last August, Coates is building relationships and advocating for policy change to create opportunities for homeownership.
We've created a memorandum of understanding with some of those other organizations that are speaking to those disparities of their communities.
Born in Birmingham, Alabama, raised in a single-parent home, Coates attended an all-African-American Catholic elementary and junior high school. While in college, she worked for the Jefferson County Commission and eventually started doing campaign management. A chance meeting with the CEO of the Birmingham Association of Realtors changed her life.
When I was asked to, possibly lobby for them, I was immediately intimidated.
But it didn't stop her from accepting the job offer 6 months later.
It's always been a goal to make an impact. If I touch something, that I do it in excellence and I bring forth resources to whomever I can help.
As her career elevated, Coates and her family faced a heartbreaking blow when her 14-year-old son died.
Zion had a genetic disorder, infantile neuroaxonal dystrophy. As hard as that year was, Zion got sick and he fought for his life, and his life ended October 25th of 2020. He could not speak. He lost all of his abilities to walk and do all the wonderful things that most kids get to do, but his life just bridged other lives together, and he promoted love.
That love of her family surrounds her and helps her push forward. But professionally, the weight and the impact of her new position isn't lost on her.
You understand the history of redlining in this country and the part that realtors played just 50 years ago, protesting the 1968 Fair Housing Act. We've come a long way, but it was not long ago where this profession actually didn't allow people that looked like me to buy homes. They didn't allow for people like me to even be an actual executive.
But Coates is happy to change the future of the industry, one home at a time.
And to add to her list of accomplishments, Jessica Coates was appointed to the National Association of Realtors Board of Directors and serves as the Association Executives Committee Chair.
And still to come, the Black-owned business that's boosting Black beauty, the dynamic duo changing the hair care industry. We want to take a moment to remember educator, author, and advocate Dr. Rex Fortune. He died last month at the age of 81 years old. Fortune founded the Fortune School of Education, which focuses on closing the African American achievement gap. He served as a public school superintendent in California for more than 20 years.
Now to the Northern California couple changing the game in hair care. Meet Rob and Tracy Brown, owners of Sacramento's only independently Black-owned beauty and barber college.
For nearly 25 years, Robert and Tracy Brown have been giving their customers another look at their salon.
We have so much fun. I don't think we really take days off because we have so much fun doing what we do and pouring into young people.
The couple, both born in Jamaica, immigrated to the U.S. with their families in the 80s.
We had first moved to North Carolina for about 6 months, but my dad decided it was too cold there, so we ended up in Sacramento.
Tracy's hair career started early.
I've always dabbled and dabbed in hair ever since I was in the 7th grade.
After graduating from Valley High, she went to beauty college and eventually started doing hair in her parents' converted garage. Rob's path was a bit different. His family established roots in Florida, then Louisiana. As a teen, he moved to Sacramento to live with a relative and got an associate's degree in administration of justice.
At the time, I thought I was going to be a police officer, and then I met this young lady, and my life changed.
The couple set out to change the lives of everyone they met. At one time, they owned 3 different salons in Northern California.
Throughout that time, we've had stylists and barbers work with us. We've mentored them. We've helped some open up their own businesses. And one day we looked at each other and we were like, you know what, we need to do this on a greater scale.
They opened Mixed Institute of Cosmetology and Barber, currently Sacramento's only independently black-owned beauty and barber college. It's one of only 8 state board-approved beauty schools in the capital city. But the couple admits it wasn't easy to do.
When it was time to open the school and we would send our permits in, for some strange reason, they lost my plans. My plans were lost. And the only thing that we were told was you got to resubmit them.
It was a costly setback, but not enough to stop them. Their passion for people and community is evident. They were the catalyst for this mural celebrating the diversity of Sacramento. It's painted outside of their salon.
It's already hot, but because your hair is deep.
The couple has seen hundreds of barber and beauty graduates. They started the True Balance hair care line 3 years ago, and last month they opened a hair loss clinic.
We've had a lot of ups and downs in this business. But I think with our teamwork, the great thing about Tracy is all my weaknesses are her strengths. And I believe all my strengths are her weaknesses. She won't say that, but
I would say that.
Grandparents of a 1.5-year-old, parents of 4 children, including one daughter who graduated from her parents' beauty college, who's also a stylist and reality TV star. It's clear this family won't be putting down the curlers or the clippers anytime soon.
And now a historically black college and university is making history. Tennessee State University is the first marching band to win a Grammy. You can see why, too. Look at the group in action. The band, also known as the Aristocrat of Bands, won the Best Roots Gospel Album for their Urban Hymnal Album. And they're our only collegiate band to win a Grammy. Well done.
Congratulations to them. Howard University also making history. The school has the only all-black college swim team in the country. The swim team is being coached by an alum of the program. As the only all-African-American college swim team in the nation, the coach says he hopes his team will be an example for others.
We want to thank you so much for joining us for our KCRA3 Project Community Special celebrating Black history.
From leaders to business owners and community members who are making a difference in Northern California and beyond, KCRA3 is continuing to highlight African American stories. So pull out your phone, scan this QR code. It'll take you to our website where you can find more information on the stories that you've watched here, plus more stories showcasing Black-owned businesses.
And of course, you can always go directly to our website, KCRA.com.
We do hope that you feel inspired and share that inspiration with your community. Thanks for watching.